He ate rice every day. Not junk food. Not soda. Just rice, but it slowly destroyed his health. That sentence haunted me for years. Hello there, I'm Dr. James. After more than 30 years practicing internal medicine and metabolic health, I've seen something heartbreaking. So many good people struggling with blood sugar, bloating, weight gain, and nerve problems. Even though they eat what they think is healthy. And you know what kept showing up on their plates? Rice. Yes, plain, everyday rice. The same rice we grew up with. The same rice we serve to our kids and grandkids. But here's the hard truth, a 2021 study from Harvard School of Public Health revealed something shocking. Just one bowl of white rice a day can raise prediabetes risk by 27% in people over 60. Who et al., American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2021, I used to think, rice is harmless. It's the other stuff that's causing trouble. But then I met Mr. Walter Jennings, a 64-year-old retired engineer in Texas. Doc, I eat clean. No soda, no fried food. Just some rice every day. But over the years, he developed type 2 diabetes, numbness in his legs, chronic gut inflammation, and eventually kidney complications. We kept adjusting his medications, but nothing worked. That helpless feeling stuck with me for years, and that led me to a life-changing question: maybe rice isn't the enemy. Maybe it's how we cook, eat, and treat rice that's quietly harming us every day. Oxford University's 2020 research backs this up. Poorly prepared rice can behave like a high-impact carb, increasing insulin resistance, gut inflammation, and accelerating blood vessel aging threefold. Since then, I've looked at rice differently. It's not good or bad. It's just powerful. And depending on how you prepare it, it can be a gentle food that heals your gut, or a quiet trigger that slowly breaks down your body. So no, rice isn't the villain, but the way we handle it may be silently hurting millions of seniors every day. That's why I made this video, not to scare you, not to tell you to give up rice, but to show you 5 simple rice tips that have helped hundreds of my patients lower their blood sugar, improve digestion, and feel like themselves again, without giving up the food they love. Please stick with me through the end, because a few small shifts in how you handle rice could make a huge difference in your insulin, gut, and immune system, especially after 60. And if there's one truth I want you to remember, it's not what you eat that harms you, it's how you eat it, every day, without knowing what it's really doing to your body. Are you ready? Let's begin with the first rice secret, and this one alone could change how your stomach feels for the rest of your life. Rice secret number 1, soak it right to lower blood sugar and heal the aging gut. I didn't change what she ate, I simply changed how she prepared it, and that one change brought her digestion back after 11 years. Back in May of last year, I met a patient named Mrs. Eleanor Davis, 73 years old, living alone in Sacramento. Every time she ate, she felt bloated, tight, puffy, uncomfortable. She used to joke that it felt like a California climate was brewing inside her belly, warm, gassy, unsettled, and yet, her diet was incredibly simple: no fast food, no soda, just plain white rice, a little steamed fish, boiled vegetables, and water. But after every meal, bloating, indigestion, and even mild nausea. She had been prescribed antacids by her GI doctor, but nothing helped, and one day, she looked at me and said quietly, "Dr. James, do you think my gut is just getting old?" The truth is, it wasn't her age, it was her rice, specifically, rice that hadn't been properly detoxed. This is something most people don't realize, but once I understood it, it completely changed how I saw a bowl of rice. Unsoaked rice contains phytic acid, a sneaky compound that steals nutrients and disrupts digestion. Inside the outer layer of rice, especially brown or unpolished rice, is a natural substance called phytic acid. Plants use it as protection from bugs. But in the human body, It acts as an anti-nutrient, blocking the absorption of key minerals like calcium, zinc, iron, according to a 2020 study published in the Journal of Trace Elements in Medicine and Biology. Phytic acid can significantly reduce the uptake of these minerals, which are vital for your heart, bones, and nervous system, but it goes even deeper. Unsoaked rice can also inhibit the release of digestive enzymes from the pancreas, making your gut work overtime just to break it down. What happens next? Food digests slowly and inefficiently, glucose enters your bloodstream faster, your body releases more insulin, and over time, insulin resistance builds, leading to prediabetes, and eventually, type 2 diabetes. The solution: soak your rice. But do it the right way. Why does soaking rice help so much? Because it does all of the following: activates natural enzymes in the rice to break down phytic acid, boosts resistant starch, which slows glucose absorption, reduces arsenic content, especially in rice imported from Asia. FDA 2021 makes rice softer, fluffier, and easier to digest, especially for seniors with sensitive guts. A study from the Japanese Center for Geriatric Nutrition 2022 found soaking rice in warm water for 60 minutes reduced phytic acid by up to 37% and increased zinc and iron absorption by nearly 25%. Source: Japanese Journal of Geriatric Nutrition 2022. Back to Mrs. Eleanor. I didn't ask her to change her diet. She kept eating rice, vegetables, and fish, just like before. All I asked was this: before you cook, rinse your rice thoroughly. Then soak it in warm water, about 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, for 45 to 60 minutes, and if it's a hot day, don't soak it more than 3 hours. 3 weeks later, she returned to my clinic with a smile I'll never forget. Dr. James, for the first time in 11 years, I ate a full meal without any pain, no bloating, no discomfort. And strangely, I'm sleeping better too. A small story, but a big lesson: you don't always have to change what you eat, sometimes, you just have to change how you prepare it. How to soak rice for better blood sugar and digestion. Step instructions. 1. Rinse your rice 2 to 3 times, removes outer residue, bran, and potential arsenic. 2. Soak in warm water, about 104 to 122 degrees Fahrenheit / 40 to 50 degrees Celsius, soak for at least 30 minutes, ideally 1 hour. 3. Cook as usual. You'll notice your rice turns out softer, more aromatic, and easier on your gut. Important: don't soak more than 3 hours in hot weather. Bacteria can grow and compromise food safety. Who should be cautious? People with chronic kidney disease or eating lots of brown rice. Monitor mineral intake like phosphorus and potassium, if you live in hot, humid climates, Florida, Texas. Avoid soaking too long at room temp. Rice isn't the problem, but if you scoop it straight from the bag into your rice cooker without soaking it, you may be unknowingly stripping away 40% of its nutritional value. And if you've been eating rice daily, but still feel tired, bloated, gassy, or your blood sugar is unstable, try this tiny change, because healing often begins with the simplest of things. Rice secret number 2, add natural vinegar to lower blood sugar spikes. I never imagined that just 1 spoonful could make such a big difference. That's what one of my patients told me, a man who once believed he'd be stuck with diabetes for the rest of his life. One crisp fall morning last year, I received an email from Mr. Harold Bennett, 67, from Kansas. He wrote, "Hi Dr. James. I've been following your channel for almost 6 months now. I'm not someone who loves pills, but I do believe in small things I can do myself. So I was wondering, is there a way I can keep eating rice without it spiking my blood sugar so badly?" So I gave him a call. After walking through his daily routine, I realized he wasn't doing anything obviously wrong: white rice every day, no sugary snacks, a bit of walking each afternoon, and yet his blood sugar kept climbing. especially after lunch, so I asked him one simple question: have you ever tried adding a little natural vinegar to your rice when you cook it? He chuckled. Vinegar? Doc, I only use that to wash my veggies. Why would vinegar help make rice less dangerous? The secret lies in a humble but powerful compound called acetic acid, found in natural vinegars, especially raw apple cider vinegar and traditional rice vinegar. A 2020 study from Johns Hopkins University found, adding acetic acid to carbohydrate-rich meals like rice can reduce the glycemic index by up to 31%. Source: Johns Hopkins Nutrition Science Bulletin, 2020. Acetic acid slows the breakdown of starch into sugar, which means glucose enters your bloodstream more gradually, helping you avoid those nasty blood sugar spikes after meals, the very spikes that damage blood vessels over time, especially in older adults. Back to Mr. Harold. I told him, next time you cook rice, add 1 tablespoon of raw apple cider vinegar to the pot, along with your water and rice, before turning on the cooker. He hesitated. Won't that make the rice taste sour? I smiled. Not at all. Once it's cooked, you'll barely notice a thing, but your body, your blood sugar, will absolutely notice the difference. 2 months later, he called me back. His voice sounded lighter. Dr. James, I've been checking my post-lunch numbers for 3 weeks straight. They're no longer hitting 180. Most days, I'm down around 130, and yes, I'm still eating rice. Didn't change a thing. Then he said something that truly moved me. I always thought growing older meant I'd have to live with high numbers forever, but you reminded me that small changes can still lead to freedom. American Diabetes Association, ADA. 2019, acetic acid improves insulin sensitivity and post-meal glucose response in pre-diabetic adults. Diabetes Care Journal, 2019, European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2021, adding vinegar to high-carb meals slows gastric emptying, increases satiety, and improves glycemic control. EJCN, 2021, Home Instructions, Tip Notes, add 1 tablespoon, 15 milliliters, of raw apple cider vinegar to your rice cooker. Works well for 1 to 2 cups of dry rice. Use naturally fermented vinegar only, e.g., apple cider, rice vinegar. Avoid synthetic vinegar. It lacks the health benefits and may irritate the stomach. Sensitive stomach. Start with just 1/2 teaspoon and gradually increase. Always listen to your body. Combine with the rice soaking method for even greater benefits. Ideal for pre-diabetics and those with insulin resistance. A single spoonful, used wisely, can shift your entire insulin rhythm. And in your golden years, healing doesn't always come in a bottle. Sometimes it comes from the quiet power of small, consistent choices. You see, rice isn't the enemy, we just haven't learned how to befriend it, and vinegar, so often overlooked, is a gentle ally, quietly helping you keep your blood sugar in balance, 1 bite at a time. Rice secret number 3, the golden ratio between rice and oats to slow sugar spikes and clean your blood vessels. Just a spoonful of oats each day, and not only did her blood sugar improve, she got her smile back. After more than 30 years as a doctor, I've learned this: some people don't need more pills to live well, they just need a little clarity about what's already on their plate. I'll never forget one of my favorite patients, Mrs. Dorothy Smith, 75 years old, from Seattle, a retired elementary school teacher. Gentle spirit. Lived simply. She loved her rice and veggie soup. Ate it nearly every day for 40 years, but in recent years, her numbers started climbing, high cholesterol, rising triglycerides, and her blood sugar no longer stable. And yet, she told me, Dr. James, I'm eating less than ever, but my numbers just keep going up. That's when I introduced her to a new friend for her rice: whole oats. White rice is a fast-digesting starch, low in fiber, low in protein, almost no healthy fat, so it turns into glucose quickly, especially for older adults whose insulin response is slower. The result? blood sugar spikes after meals, cholesterol buildup, and over time, inflamed arteries, atherosclerosis, and even stroke risk. But add just a little whole oats to the rice, and everything changes. A 2022 study from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, found adding 5 to 7% whole oats to a rice-based meal reduced post-meal glucose spikes by 43% and significantly lowered LDL cholesterol after 12 weeks in older adults. NIH Clinical Trials Division, 2022, Journal of Nutrition Metabolism. Why are oats so special? Because oats are rich in beta-glucan, a powerful soluble fiber that acts like a sponge in your blood vessels. It absorbs LDL cholesterol and helps remove excess fats from the bloodstream. It slows down starch digestion, so rice sugar enters the blood more gently and steadily. Back to Mrs. Dorothy, I gave her a simple suggestion: next time you cook rice, just stir in 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of rolled or steel-cut oats before turning on the rice cooker. She paused. Oats, doctor? I don't even like oatmeal in the morning, and now you want me to put it in my rice? I smiled. You won't even taste it. But your body will feel the difference. And 3 months later, she walked into my clinic holding a small gift box, filled with old coloring books from her teaching days. Thank you, Dr. James, that tiny bit of oats. I don't get dizzy after lunch anymore, I sleep better. And the most surprising part, I finally have enough energy to volunteer at the children's library again. Home instructions: ingredient recommended amount, white rice, rinsed, 1 cup, about 150 g, whole oats, rolled or steel cut, 1 to 1.5 teaspoons equals about 5 to 7% of the rice weight. Stir the oats into the rice before cooking. No need to pre-soak. After cooking, the rice will be slightly softer, with no change in taste, but big changes in your health. You should be cautious. If you have gallstones or IBS, start with just 1/2 teaspoon of oats to allow your gut to adjust. If you have chronic kidney disease, monitor your total fiber and protein intake. Speak to your doctor if unsure. When rice walks alone, sugar runs fast. But when rice walks with oats, sugar slows down and walks safely with you. And one line from Dorothy I still treasure: I didn't think 1 spoonful of oats could change my health, until it changed my life. So you see, it's not always about eating less carbs. Sometimes, it's about pairing foods wisely, so that rice becomes a healing partner, not a blood sugar enemy. Rice secret number 4, add turmeric to awaken your body's insulin wisdom. We search for medicine in every corner of the world, but sometimes, the answer is sitting quietly in the spice jar by your stove. I once treated a woman named Helen Clark, 69 years old, of Irish descent, living in Colorado. She had spent over 40 years as a mother, a wife, and the heartbeat of her family. By the time she came to me, she had been on medication for type 2 diabetes for nearly 12 years. Her insulin resistance had worsened, and no matter what she tried, her morning blood sugar never dropped below 150 milligrams per deciliter. Every test felt like a defeat. She looked at me once and said quietly, "Doctor, I'm not afraid of diabetes. I'm afraid of the day I can't recognize my grandchildren anymore." That sentence stayed with me. It's what led me to share with her a natural medicine I deeply believe in: turmeric. Turmeric isn't just a spice, it's a bioactive powerhouse that's been heavily studied for over 2 decades for its effects on inflammation and insulin regulation. Its golden active ingredient, curcumin, can improve insulin sensitivity, calm chronic inflammation, and fight oxidative stress across the body. A decade-long study by the U.S. National Institutes of Health, published in the Journal of Endocrinology Metabolism, 2020, found daily curcumin intake reduced insulin resistance by 23%. And improved HOMA-IR scores, a key marker of insulin function, comparable to some oral diabetes medications. NIH, JEM, 2020, even more powerfully, curcumin can soothe inflammation in the pancreas, where insulin is made, protect blood vessels from sugar-related damage, and slow the progression from prediabetes to full-blown diabetes. Back to Mrs. Helen. I didn't change her medication, I simply gave her this gentle advice: when the rice finishes cooking, while it's still hot, sprinkle in 2 small pinches of pure turmeric powder, about 1/4 teaspoon, and stir gently to let the warmth absorb the healing. I emphasized, no curry powder. No artificial colors. Only 100% pure turmeric. She hesitated. Won't it taste bitter, doctor? I smiled. You can start with just a small pinch. Try it with hard-boiled eggs or steamed vegetables. In a few days, the taste won't bother you, but the results may surprise you. And then, something beautiful happened. 3 months later, she returned, not just with morning blood sugar at 117 milligrams per deciliter, but with a softer voice and a lighter spirit. Dr. James, I don't dread testing my sugar anymore, and honestly, my memory feels sharper. I'm less tired. I even went back to my painting room after 5 years away. I didn't say much, I just smiled. Because I knew it wasn't the turmeric alone that healed her, it was her belief in something gentle and small, repeated with faith. Home instructions: how to use notes. After rice is fully cooked, sprinkle in 1 to 2 small pinches of pure turmeric, is almost equal to a 1/4 teaspoon. Mix well while the rice is still warm for better absorption. Start small if you're sensitive to taste. Pair with veggies, eggs, or lean chicken to soften the flavor. Use 100% pure turmeric powder only. Avoid curry blends or colored powders. With additives, add a pinch of black pepper for enhanced absorption. Can increase curcumin absorption by up to 2000%. Molecular Nutrition Food Research, 2018, who should be cautious? Those with gallstones, bile duct inflammation, or active stomach ulcers. Consult your doctor first. Anyone on blood thinners. Turmeric may enhance the effect of these medications. Turmeric won't cure your diabetes, but if you give it a quiet place in your routine, it may help your pancreas feel less alone in its daily fight. You see, a little golden glow in your rice could be the first flicker of light that helps you take back control of your blood sugar, gently, naturally, and faithfully. No need to start with a pill, just begin with a pinch of trust and the right teaspoon of healing. Rice secret number 5: cool it down, warm it up. The gut healing power of resistant starch. He didn't change his rice, he didn't go on a diet, he didn't take new medication, he simply changed the temperature of his rice. 2 years ago, I met a patient I'll never forget, Mr. Donald Robinson, 74, a retired truck driver living in Oregon. After retiring, he began suffering from a long list of digestive issues: chronic constipation, bloating and indigestion after lunch, and painful abdominal cramps. Diagnosed as irritable bowel syndrome, IBS. He had tried gluten-free diets, low-lactose plans, added more veggies, but nothing helped much. One day, he looked at me, defeated, and asked, "Doc, do you think my gut just got old, or is there something wrong that no one's figured out yet?" I didn't give him another pill. Instead, I asked gently, "Have you ever tried cold rice?" Sounds odd, doesn't it? But here's the science. Cold rice, when reheated the right way, can actually soothe the gut and support immunity. And the secret lies in a natural transformation called resistant starch. What is resistant starch? When you cool rice after cooking, part of its regular starch transforms into resistant starch, a type of carbohydrate that resists digestion in the small intestine, and travels down to the colon, where it feeds your good gut bacteria. A 2021 study from Oxford University revealed. Cooling and reheating rice increases resistant starch by up to 18%, and significantly boosts levels of butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid vital for gut lining repair and immune function. Oxford Medical Digestive Sciences Journal, 2021, How Resistant Starch Supports the Body, feeds beneficial bacteria like bifidobacteria and Akkermansia, reduces gut lining inflammation, stimulates serotonin, helping the gut move more regularly, increases butyrate production, a golden nutrient for gut cells, lowers the risk of colon cancer and enhances immune health. Back to Mr. Donald, here's what I told him: once your rice finishes cooking, uncover the pot, and let the rice cool at room temperature for 30 to 60 minutes, then store it in a clean container in the fridge. The next day, reheat it gently, microwave or stovetop, and enjoy. He blinked. Cold rice, Doc? I thought only college kids ate that way. I laughed. Maybe that's why college kids still have young guts. Sometimes, it's not about age, just the right habits. And after 2 weeks, no more nightly laxatives, the nagging post-meal cramps faded, and then he told me something I'll never forget: document. It feels like my gut finally stopped being mad at me. Home instructions. Step: what to do. 1. Cook rice as usual. Wash thoroughly and cook until soft. 2. Let rice cool at room temperature for 30 to 60 minutes. Don't cover the pot tightly right away. 3. Store in a clean container in the fridge for 8 to 24 hours. Use within 48 hours. 4. Gently reheat before eating, microwave or pan. Avoid overcooking or frying again. Preserves resistant starch. Safety tips: don't leave cooked rice at room temperature for over 2 hours. Bacteria risk increases in warm environments, greater than 86 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius. Eat within 1 to 2 days if stored in the fridge. If you have compromised immunity, be extra cautious and ensure proper hygiene. You don't need brand new foods to renew your gut. Sometimes you just need to serve the old ones in a new way. Dr. James, I used to believe nothing could change my digestion at 74, but now I know. Even a little cold rice can help me treat my body more kindly again. So you see, no need for expensive probiotics, no need for strict, joyless diets. Sometimes, the gut just needs a little rest, and a little cooled rice might just be your way back to balance, comfort, and gentle healing. The hidden cooking trick that lowers arsenic and boosts zinc absorption in seniors. I used to think detox only came in pill bottles, until I discovered a simple rice cooking method that could cut heavy metals by nearly half. Not long ago, I met Mr. Gerald Monroe, 76, a retired gentleman from California. He didn't have diabetes, he didn't have high blood pressure, but he was always tired, had a strange metallic taste in his mouth, and blood tests showed something unexpected: elevated arsenic levels, despite having no exposure to toxic industries. I asked him, "Do you eat rice often?" He nodded. "White rice, every day. Been eating it since I was a kid." Here's a little known truth. Rice, especially rice grown in the US, India, Bangladesh, and parts of Asia, can naturally absorb arsenic from the soil and water. According to the US Food and Drug Administration, FDA, 2020, rice is the single largest dietary source of inorganic arsenic in the American diet. White rice may contain anywhere from 2.6 to 7.2 micrograms of arsenic per gram, depending on where and how it's grown. FDA report on inorganic arsenic in rice, 2020. What is inorganic arsenic? A heavy metal. Colorless, odorless, and dangerously persistent in the body, linked to bladder cancer, kidney damage, heart disease, and neurological decline in older adults, especially risky for seniors with impaired detox pathways, such as fatty liver or declining kidney function. But here's the good news. One simple tweak in how you cook rice can remove much of the arsenic and help your body absorb zinc, iron, and magnesium more efficiently. The trick? It's called the parboil and drain method, a traditional cooking approach that modern kitchens are slowly rediscovering. Dr. James' instructions. Step: what to do. 1. Rinse rice 2 to 3 times. Removes dust, outer bran, and surface arsenic. 2. Boil in a large pot, using 1 part rice to 6 parts water. Think of it like boiling pasta. Avoid rice cookers for this step. 3. Once the rice is 70 to 80% cooked, drain off all the water. Most of the dissolved arsenic is in this water. 4. add a small amount of fresh clean water. Cover, and simmer for 5 to 10 more minutes. This helps finish cooking and enhances mineral absorption. A 2021 study in the International Journal of Environmental Science found, the parboilandraine method reduced arsenic content in white rice by up to 57%, and improved zinc absorption by 26% by removing phytic acid from the outer bran layer. Back to Mr. Gerald, I taught him how to cook his rice this new way. 3 months later, his lab work came back, arsenic levels dropped nearly 40%, he said his energy returned, the metallic taste was gone, and, best of all, his appetite came back. No more bloating or heaviness after meals, he told me. Who would have thought? Just changing how I cook rice could make me feel this much better. Safety suitability notes, best for white rice, basmati, or long grain aromatic rice. For brown rice, soak 6 to 8 hours first, then follow the same method. Seniors with low appetite or undernutrition can use this method 3 to 4 times a week instead of every day. To retain more calories, rice can be a healing food. But if cooked carelessly, it can also carry hidden metals. Let's make each bowl of rice not just delicious, but safe, gentle, and nourishing for the long run. You see, my friend, this final tip may be the least known, but it might make the biggest difference for those of us who've eaten rice every day for a lifetime, never realizing that each grain, too, deserves a little purification, because sometimes, healing begins not with medicine, but with how we make the most ordinary things extraordinary. You may have eaten rice for 60 years, but today, you finally understand how it truly affects your health. I know, some of the tips I shared today may have surprised you. Maybe you didn't expect that letting your rice cool down, sprinkling a little turmeric, adding a spoonful of oats, or soaking your rice an extra 30 minutes, could make such a difference to your blood sugar, digestion, and even your immune system. But it's these small, daily rituals, repeated with care, that shape long-term wellness, a quiet, steady kind of strength. The kind we hope to carry with us as we age. Let's quickly revisit the 5 healing rice tips you learned today. Soak your rice before cooking, lowers phytic acid, improves mineral absorption, and makes digestion gentler. Add a spoonful of natural vinegar to the rice pot, slows sugar absorption, flattens blood sugar spikes. Mix in 5 to 7% oats, supports heart health and better glucose control. Sprinkle turmeric on hot rice, boosts natural insulin response and reduces inflammation. Cool and reheat your rice, creates resistant starch, feeds gut bacteria, and strengthens immunity. Bonus, use the parboilandraine method, reduces arsenic, improves zinc uptake, protects liver and kidneys in older adults. And if you remember just one thing from me today, let it be this: we don't need to change our entire meal, we just need to change how we treat each grain of rice. And that alone can change the course of our health. At this stage in life, we're not chasing perfection, we're seeking enough strength, enough clarity, enough calm to fully love those who matter most to us. And if today you choose to start again, not with a supplement, not with a pill, but with your rice pot, then I believe you've already taken a gentle, powerful step on your healing journey. If this video helped you understand your health in a new way, if you believe you or someone you love deserves to feel better each day, then I kindly invite you to subscribe, so I can continue sharing small but meaningful insights for your golden years. Click like to help YouTube show this video to more seniors who need it, and if you have a message to share, a question to ask, or a story of your own, please leave a comment below. I read every word, and I truly cherish every story you trust me with, and if you've stayed with me this far, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You're not just watching a video, you're making the quiet decision to love yourself, in a way that's gentle, slow, and deeply beautiful. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll explore another everyday food that might be silently shaping your longevity more than you ever imagined. Until then, I wish you and your family peace, strength, and the kind of deep joy that can be found in every mindful bite. with care, Dr. James.